Good morning, Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Good morning. It's Monday, the 22nd, 23rd. Monday the 23rd. Good morning, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. Hello, YouTube. If you're watching on the replay, if you're on Facebook today, you're watching live this morning, Monday morning. It's about 7:40. I'm sitting here at the bar getting some work done. As usual, waiting for the rain to stop so I go out for a run. And been working on some exciting things this week. Our Thanksgiving Day is sold out. I'm doing a takeout menu for Thanksgiving only, turkey, salmon, or brisket. We are 100% sold out for that. We knew that was going to happen. We tried to cut the orders off last Thursday because, of course, we have to order the turkeys ahead of time. I just can't. It's hard to all of a sudden decide to get turkeys on Wednesday and get them roasted and stuff for Thursday. So we have to, of course, work ahead. Place orders and commit. Most of the distributors we deal with want the turkey orders in by September, just as a guideline. We make adjustments. So we put a week cutoff and we were sold out, I think Friday or Saturday. Everything was all sold out. So no more Thanksgiving availability to go. I had to run into the store yesterday for something, and I was like, wow. I was like, this sucks. This totally sucks. A pandemic and Thanksgiving time, holidays. Stores were mobbed. I was like, this grocery store mobbed. I was like, this is crazy. This is insane. So I just wanted to remind everybody that we have groceries here. We have a lot of groceries here. If you need something, no need to run into the store to get something. You might want to run in the store to get a big trip. And if you need to go for one or two things, or even you want high quality salmon or good grass-fed steaks, we have you covered. Those new pizzas we have from Italy that are par baked, you put into your freezer, then you thaw them out and bake them. They are amazing. We have a nice grocery list: organic celery, local onions, local potatoes, organic sweet potatoes. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We just got new from Hawthorne Valley. We got those small jars of lacto-fermented vegetables. There's turmeric sauerkraut. There's a ginger beets, and there's one more. There's a carrot in there. Those are really, really good, those lacto-fermented vegetables. Helps with digestion, and a lot of people have digestion issues for Thanksgiving because, it's one of those things on Thanksgiving where you stuff yourself. You sit there and stuff yourself, and you say, I can't eat another bite. Then if somebody goes, pumpkin pie, and you're like, sure, I'll take some pumpkin pie. So some lacto-fermented vegetables can come in very, very handy on Thanksgiving. Just any day they can come in handy and help aid in digestion, but especially on Thanksgiving. So we've got some cool stuff from Hawthorne Valley. I try to eat a little bit every day, again, just for digestion. Part of keeping my flora, and it's part of a daily health ritual. It's just like taking probiotics, and I still do take probiotics, but eating some lacto-fermented vegetables is very healthy for your gut flora. Remember, your immune system is located in your gut, so it's just part of keeping the immune system going. I'm here drinking my vitamin C water this morning. Of course, I drank more than I kind of wanted to this morning. It's so good that I keep drinking it. There's about 10 grams in there. I've got to space this out and go back in a few hours. So we have lots and lots of grocery store items covered. We have your wine, spirits, and that kind of covered as well. We got all that covered. We got some really cool stuff on here that you can get for the holidays. So lots and lots of wines. We had a lot of wine in last week. I think we had about 20 more cases of wine in last week, and a lot of that will fly out of here. We have two separate pricings on our wine. If you're coming in to sit down, we've lowered our prices on wine by the bottle. If you're taking wine out, then it's priced like the grocery store. Like the retail wine shops. So it's priced almost the same. Sometimes it's a little better. Sometimes it's $1 more, $1 less. But we're in that price range of liquor stores. So if you like a bottle that we've had here, you can buy anything you've had here in the past, as long as they have more of it, at a retail price, what the current retail price would be. And we have a way of going online and checking the average price. So there's a program out there to do that. Helps us do that if we don't know. So I know what I paid for everything, but I want to make sure that we're being fair and charging the right price. Let's see. We're doing a ribeye sale that starts today. The ribeye sale starts today. It's $2 off a pound. until supplies last. I got 4 or 5 cases. I got a lot of ribeyes in. They're coming in. I ordered them, and the vendor had a sale going on, our distributor. So that is happening. $2 off a pound if you want ribeyes. Now's a great time, and it worked out perfectly because a lot of you have friends and family over. People are home from kids are home from college. You have more family around, and everybody doesn't feel like leftover turkey. They feel like a real meal on Friday or Saturday, other than turkey. So this worked out perfect. The ribeye steak sale. So that's $2 off a pound for our grass-fed ribeye steaks. So check out our grocery list on our website, roma10bistro.com. Yesterday I made a big announcement that we're working on. We have a great space coming, a great private space coming, overnight accommodations. We can do weddings, we can do all kinds of private parties. We can do cooking classes. We can do special events there. So if you have a company party that you want to do, that you want on its own sort of like compound, on its own property, we can handle up to 30 people, separate rooms, separate big dining rooms. It's really a beautiful, beautiful property. We'll have more of that coming. It will be like listed on Airbnb stuff for weekends and retreats and things like that. It's pretty big property. So one thing that we like about it is we can actually hold weddings on in the summertime for 50 people, 100 people, as long as we're following the COVID guidelines. We will have a lot of space, and it's a private space. So if you want to book a holiday party at Aroma Time and you're concerned about our small space, we can actually bring you this property, which it's right in our area. It's very, 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 very close, where we can actually you can have your own space, beautiful exposition, beautiful, beautiful kitchen, all the bells and whistles. Really, really, really an awesome property. We'll do more of that. We'll talk more about that in the future. We're just trying to do a lot of work there this week and last week. A lot of work getting our social media sites up, getting everything finished, construction and everything, and decor done. So it's really, really super exciting. But we are honestly ready. If somebody said I need to have 30 people tonight, I want a private space, we could actually do something tonight. So that's how ready the property is. That is exactly how ready the property is. The 16-seat theater is not ready yet. That will be next week. We're in construction with that right now, and a few other minor things in construction, but it's a beautiful, beautiful property. Let's see. We're open tonight. It's wing night. Buy one, get one on wings, BOGO. Buy one, get one for wings tonight. Smoked wings, either barbecue or traditional spicy. That's the dough special. We are open tonight for in the dining room. We've been bringing in extra burrata cheese. It's been on our emails. It's been on our Facebook. We running a whole extra case this last week, and we sold a good amount. Every Wednesday, fresh burrata comes in from Italy. It comes in Tuesday. It's shipped Monday to Tuesday. Goes to the distributor on Tuesday, and the distributor sends it to us Wednesday. This is fresh burrata from Apulia, Italy. Italy. It's a home of burrata. A lot of people love burrata. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, burrata is great. But they've never had the real deal burrata from Andrea, Italy, from Apulia, Italy, from southern Italy. That is with the birthplace. That is where the designation takes place, the DOP, the certified Italian product of the nomination of the guaranteed product of the quality of the origin of the old ways of making it. A lot of American producers make it. Some of them make it much better than others. But there's a big, massive company out there called Belgioso, which does a fair job on their products. But it's not the real burrata, and most restaurants buy that burrata because of the price. It's literally half the price or less to buy the American domestic burrata versus the real deal Italian imported burrata from Italy. So if you've had our burrata, drop a comment, because a lot of people have had our burrata. A lot of people are walking in and buying to go. So if you sit down and eat the burrata with the lemon olive oil from our friends at Arche in Sicily, who do this amazing lemon-infused olive oil in central Italy, which is on one of our next trips to Sicily. That's part of the itinerary in Lombardo Vineyards, which is literally 10 minutes around the corner. They have adjoining properties, is a winery that we're going to be stopping at. So that's a trip to Sicily. We haven't talked about our trips to Italy in a couple of weeks. We just don't know what's happening with travel. Travel's pretty uncertain right now. Presidential election, of course, is up in the air. So there's just things that we just can't predict for April right now. And if I had to say, are we going April? I'd probably say we're probably not going in April, just because, you know, I'm on a mastermind call every week. I talk to a lot of people in the industry. Italy's on more of a lockdown now. There's not as much confidence. I don't know if people have more confidence once the vaccine is officially released. I don't know. That's a whole other topic I don't want to talk about. So if I had to say, well, we're going in April or we're going in November, I'd probably say right now we're going in November. We have a lot of trips, a lot of different itineraries lined up for Italy. You can go to VIPWineryVacations.com. Check that out. There's a bunch of trips here. We have Piemonte, another trip to Piemonte lined up in there. And we try to plan trips a year out anyway to give you enough time to, if you need to make payments for us, we have no interest payments. A lot of people need a year to plan anyway, right? Especially people who have obligations and you have kids, or you have a house, or you have a business or something. People like 9 months to a year. So typically the average that people decide, I'm gonna take a trip to Europe and plan. We're leaving for 9 days, right? So we try to give it 9 months to a year. So we already know next November we're going. We just don't know what part of Italy. We'll probably go to Apulia. We might do a back-to-back Sicily trip or a back-to-back Piemonte trip. We're not sure. It's all on the website. We have lots and lots and lots of options for Italy. So back to the burrata. The burrata, if you get it in-house with the olive oil from Arche and the basil and Guido Paltrini's balsamic oil vinegar that we get. He was here 2 years ago doing a risotto demo in our garden. We charge $12.99, which in New York City they charge $17.99, $18 for the same exact thing. Our distributors like Marcus, this is what they charge in New York City for it. So we're $12.99 because we're up in the country, we're not in New York City. If you take it to go, it's $5. It's our retail grocery price, $5. You probably pay $6 in a store, maybe a little more in your New York City store, but it's $5. Or because I bought extra, I got a 2-case discount from the distributor. Once you don't use it, you have a certain time to use these. They won't last like other mozzarellas. They won't last like the domestic burrata. You have to then ditch it. So we have a 2-case discount, and I'm able to, if you buy 2 balls, I'm able to give you $1 off. So 2 for $9. At this point, I just want to move volume and keep the volume going and show the distributor that we're really serious about real burrata here, real burrata from Italy. And it is amazing. Jamie and I, yesterday for breakfast, after our run, I took some roasted peppers, thanks to took some fresh peppers and I roasted them. Peppers, compliments of one of our longtime guests here, who has a farm up in the Grahamsville area. They dropped off some beautiful, beautiful red peppers. I don't even know what kind of red. They weren't your standard bell peppers. They were these long red peppers. And I roasted them off, peeled them, put the burrata on top of it, poured a little bit of olive oil on it, a little bit of basil, and that was our breakfast yesterday after our run. It was delicious. Burrata is very versatile. One of the great things we like to do with the burrata is we like to open up cans of these cherry tomatoes from Campania. These cherry tomatoes from Campania are $1.99 a can. And so if you took home burrata, if you took home 2 balls of burrata and a can of these cherry tomatoes from Campania, right? You open these tomatoes, you pop them into a little saucepan, you bring them to 1 simmer, you add a little salt, you put this in a bowl, you open up the burrata, put the burrata on top of there, a little bit of olive oil, drizzle, and basil. You have the most amazing, amazing lunch appetizer. Really, this is good for one person. That what dish I just described. This can will at least support 2 to 3 fresh burrata balls. So it'll be divided up to almost 2 to 3 portions. 2 portions definitely, maybe 3. So, but 2 definitely. So, $9 and $3. You're at $12 for a beautiful lunch for 2. Take it home with literally 2 minutes of cooking. Maybe I'll do a cooking demo on how easy it is to do that dish in the new kitchen space we have. The great thing about this new kitchen space is I will be able to do more cooking demos, cooking classes, things like that, because it's a very wide open space and it looks great. My kitchen here is so small, like very, very small. Like you couldn't really get the camera and shoot like really at the angles that I want to shoot. So this is why I'm not really doing any videos in the kitchen here. So yeah. So again, just talking about the title of this video is, if you're just tuning in, drop a comment, #live. If it's on the replay, #replay. But I was doing a, the title of this is, it sucks. And what sucks is, we're in a pandemic, Thanksgiving is coming, and the stores are packed. That's what sucks. So I just wanted to remind everybody, we have a whole grocery list. You need maple syrup, it's right there, right? Local organic maple syrup. If you need pancake mix from Bob's Red Mill, gluten-free or regular, it's right there. Garden of Eden organic chips are somewhere there. Local green salsa. There's a bunch of stuff on these shelves. Apple cider vinegar. There's honey, local honey. I got a lot of stuff there. Anything in our storeroom we can basically sell you. Anything in our storeroom.
Did you talk about Finger Lakes?
Did not talk about Finger Lakes, I will. So, so I had to drop into a store yesterday, and the store was mobbed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could not imagine going into this store and they were actually at the door counting, and there's a line out the door, and this was not like some kind of specialty store like Coach in Woodbury Commons. It always has a line out the door. This was like a regular run-of-the-mill store. They're outside counting. There are too many people inside, and this is Sunday before Thanksgiving. I can only imagine today, tomorrow, the next day before Thanksgiving, how busy these stores are. And to run inside for a few things, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I just gotta get out of here. So we have a lot of those few things that you need, a lot of those few things on our grocery list. And again, ribeye sale today. The news will be coming out on an email and officially published on our Facebook in a little while. The Finger Lakes. We're going to the Finger Lakes. Since we can't go to Italy, we're going to the Finger Lakes. And we hope we can go to the Finger Lakes, right? Who knows what's gonna happen with these new red zones and things that are coming out, and the spikes. We're going to the Finger Lakes the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of January. By the way, if you give us money for any of our trips, you get your money back if we don't go, right? That's just a given. I know. Or apply to a new trip. I know there were some horror stories how people made all these travel plans and they're still waiting for their money to come back, and folks, everybody who booked for us, we should just be getting back now from our Italy trip, where we got back a few days ago. But it was our scheduled Italy trip for 2020 was the last 2 weeks. And that trip was sold out. Everybody who gave us money got their money back. Every single person got their money back right away. Some of these travel agents were playing a lot of games. Some of them spent the money, right? They were overextended, whatever it is. That's their main living, and they pay bills with that revenue that's coming in, and they use that money right away. This for us is a second business. We don't. When you give us money, it gets put in the bank, and we don't spend it until we actually go to the vacation, or we have to start putting deposits down in your name. So, but we have such a great relationship with our Italian partners, with the hotels, with the vineyards, all these things that they just know now that we don't book unless we get a good cancellation policy. So anybody who was booked on our trip got their money back when they were asked. Right away, they got their money back. So Jamie and I are very, very proud of that. So if you're going to the Finger Lakes with us, same exact thing. The Finger Lakes is the 22nd to the 24th. So now, of course, you just can't cancel for any reason. It has to be that we can't go because of COVID. But that's how it happened with everybody who was in the travel business, and all these people had travel things, and a lot of them had a lot of hard times getting their money back. Some people haven't even gotten their money back yet for some of these trips. So 22nd to the 24th, we go to the Finger Lakes. We check into a beautiful hotel, a 4-diamond hotel right on the water in Watkins Glen, and we have an opening reception. A winery comes down, a distillery comes down, do an opening reception in the hospitality suite from like 5 to 9. All kinds of food, all kinds of good quality wine, things like that. And then Saturday and Sunday, we have a coach bus, and we hit the vineyards. Now, the hard thing about the Finger Lakes is right now, but going anywhere, right? Even in the Hudson Valleys, a lot of vineyards are not accepting groups because of COVID.
A lot of wineries.
A lot of wineries are not accepting groups. So we've actually worked directly with the owners of these vineyards. Like Silver Thread, they're not big enough. They don't have enough space for 12 of us to go, or 14 of us to go, how many ever are going. They don't have enough space for that. So instead of us going to their vineyard, they're going to come to us at the hotel and host us at the hotel, right? So we're working things out where we're being very creative. Lamoureux Landing has its own separate space for us only, We're not going to be with other people in a main tasting room. They have a separate, and this is what happened when we went there and we sat down with the owner and we drank wine a few weeks ago, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, time flies. So we were able to go to the vineyards and work deals out directly with the owners and say, hey, we already know each other. We buy your wine this thing. We've been here. We already know each other. But now we want to bring some of our guests. How can we make it work? And some vineyards are honestly, we can't make it work. In other words, we're like, here's what we can do. Do you mind? Would you mind if your group went into our barrel room and drank out of barrels and tasted wine? Well, I'm like, I'm sure our group can handle barrel room tastings. So some of them were very creative and doing things like that, or separate rooms. So it took a little bit of work to maneuver that, a little more work to maneuver that than normal. And we tried to plan this trip a couple months ago, and I called a couple of vineyards and they were just like, no, we can't accommodate you, Marcus. But once you sit down with them, it was a beautiful 70-degree day up in the Finger Lakes a couple weeks ago. Sitting out in their yard, drinking wine with them, talking with them, and saying, well, here's what our plans are. And they're like, oh, of course we can do that. So,
if anyone wants to put a deposit
yeah,
down.
anyone wants to put a deposit down, it's $800 a person. You get there Friday night till Sunday afternoon. We cover everything. We cover all your meals, all your wine, everything. Everything's covered. Beautiful 4-diamond hotel. The hotel is amazing. The rooms are awesome. The showers are great. The bathrooms are awesome. We cover everything. It's $800 a person. We just surveyed friends of ours who went up there a couple months ago. And they're like, how much did you spend per person? Just out of curiosity. And they had to drive themselves. They were like, about $800 a person. I'm like, well, there you go. Ours includes transportation, coach transportation. We're all on a bus. So everything's included in there. So you basically hire a driver. You're gonna spend the same amount. So we only have room for 16 people in that. Only 16 people, and that's it. We were gonna do 2 trips back to back, but it's a lot of work to do these trips. It's a lot of work, especially with the new thing that Jamie and I are taking on. It's a lot of work that I think we'll probably just do one round, maybe do another trip, a little different itinerary, more towards the spring. We'll see what happens, of course, with COVID regulations and things like that. So I think we're only going to do one trip. It's, again, a lot of work to do these, a lot of work to do our Italy trip. I mean, it takes us months and months to put together trips, to connect all the dots on all these trips. And then all of a sudden, like one winery will say, oh my gosh, we're not going to be open that day. So this happens in Italy. One winery goes, well, we're not going to be over there that day. We realize we have to travel to this festival or do this or do that. And it's like, oh my gosh, then we have to change like those. Not only does it's a ripple effect, it doesn't affect that one day because then you have to maneuver the driving of the bus, make sure the driver doesn't go over his hours for the day, which happens. The driver will be like, I can't drive anymore. It doesn't happen to put us into a bind, but it's like you get to a point where the planning stage is like, I'm not going to be able to drive. The company's like, my bus driver can't drive. Like, this is the farthest we can get you for the day. We can get you back to the hotel, but we can't bus you, 2 kilometers to the dinner. Do you guys mind walking into town for your dinner? So sometimes that kind of stuff happens. We're faced with these kind of questions, and when things change around, it becomes very tiresome and tedious to maneuver everything back and forth. So some of these, especially in Italy, these trips do take a lot of planning. We have people who help to plan us, but we have people that help us plan these based upon our specifications and their logistics. But it's still a lot. Let's see. Anything else, Jamie? So tonight we're.
I'm sure you said something about turkey.
Turkey. Yep. So we're closed for business tomorrow and Wednesday, but we will be here for groceries. All right. We'll be here for groceries. If you need groceries, email us, call us. We're here. We can pick groceries. If you want anything like special ordered, we can do special orders.
Has to be in today.
Has to be in today. We do a lot of special orders for guests. One guest orders a lot of organic, vegan Cocoa June yogurts. We normally don't stock something like that, but they're like, we want that.
Ronnie Brook butter.
We ordered Ronnie Brook eggnog today for somebody.
Yeah.
Ronnie Brook eggnog. People want eggnog from Ronnie Brook specifically, so we special ordered that. So we can special order things as well, and that's kind of it. I've got to get on another phone call. I just got off a phone call before I got on here, and I got to get on another phone call here. One of my coaching calls. And
Tonight's ring night.
tonight's ring night. Buy one get one to get to take out. All of our wings are slow smoked, and then they are just flash cooked in some sunflower oil, some local expeller press or cold press sunflower oil. It's unfiltered, unrefined, really good oil. And for like a little this nuttiness, like imagine that sunflower nuttiness adds this little nuttiness flavor to anything we cook in it. It's really, really great. And that's it. Hope everybody has an amazing Thanksgiving coming up, and a great week. Hope everybody's safe. And again, your mask is only effective if you wear it effectively. Which a lot of people do not wear a mask effectively, nor do they sanitize their mask effectively, or do they wear the right mask to begin with. So certain masks or facial coverings, are not even considered masks, or just facial coverings, might work for mosquitoes in certain instances, but you get the point. Some masks are not effective at all for any kind of anything. A lot more, some are much more effective. But really the one thing that makes the difference is if you're sanitizing your mask, hydrogen peroxide, spray that mask down constantly. When you walk into a store, things are landing on your mask on the outside. Then you take your hands, you take it off, and then you touch your eyes, and through your eyes you're going to transmit things as well, right? And then you have things on your hand and you put it back on, you make adjustments, and you get the whole picture. You cross-contaminate everywhere. If you're not cleaning your mask, it's not nearly as effective. So hydrogen peroxide is what we do. Spray it down constantly. And so whether you're pro-mask or anti-mask, hydrogen peroxide, there is no debate on hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide works, it kills, it sanitizes. So does rubbing alcohol, but if you spray your mask down with rubbing alcohol and put it back on, you won't be able to breathe. It's very, very, very uncomfortable. Hydrogen peroxide makes it much, much, much more bearable. So, mask or no mask, hydrogen peroxide is great for a ton of things, and it's great it's great. You can get food grade hydrogen peroxide too. We actually have food grade hydrogen peroxide. If you wanted to like really wash your vegetables really good, spinach and stuff like that, food grade hydrogen peroxide is great. To sanitize food, like spinach, which has chances of E. coli, romaine, which has chances of E. coli. I'm surprised there's no romaine E. coli issues right now. Typically November is the time, and May is the time for E. coli issues in November in romaine lettuce. Most of the romaine lettuce in the winter crop is grown in a part of Arizona, which is known to have cow manure contamination, and they switch the crops to the winter. The winter romaine season starts in Arizona. It starts in November now, and it ends in May. And for some reason, at the beginning and the tail end of the season is when you're more prone to have E. coli contamination in your romaine. But if you were to take your romaine lettuce or your spinach or anything that you're concerned about and soak it in water with food grade hydrogen peroxide, that is very effective. I know certain people that swear by food grade chlorine or Clorox brand bleach, but very, very, very small amounts. A while ago, I was having stomach issues, digestion issues, really, really bad, because I had gotten something that I was eating a ton of spinach every day, raw spinach, and I wasn't washing it properly for myself, and I ended up contracting something, and very, very bad digestion and things like that. And the nutritionist that I went to go see put me on a regime of taking Clorox brand only, just a couple drops is all you need into a big thing of water, and then soaking it, washing it really, really good, letting it dry, and consuming, just so there was nothing on my food. Just like your mask can get traces of things, your food has lots and lots of traces of things. So there is on the USDA site, there are things on how to use food grade chlorine, because they use it all the time in food production. You're already getting chlorine in your food produced. So if you're buying chicken, commercially produced chicken, all has chlorine in it. Even the organic stuff, even the air dried stuff is still loaded with chlorine. That's what they have to do to make it organic still. The food we eat, a lot of the food we eat is susceptible to pathogens. It has pathogens in it. And in order for them to produce it and put it out to market in these mass quantities, even these mass organic labels, they have to do non-organic things. And the organic certifications are written to favor them, else you would not have, it'd be almost impossible to have organic chicken on the store shelves, true organic chicken in a bigger company from like Bell & Evans or something, if they didn't allow bleach or food grade chlorine in the sanitizing step, because they couldn't take a chance and put it there. So you see how that works. It's a lot of bending the rules to make things happen for the economy and for big brands. And of course, a lot of these big brands are on these boards. Back in 1999, I was nominated for the USDA Organics Board, the national board. I was nominated from Colorado State Department of Agriculture. These people out there nominated me for this, and I was told by other people, I was like, these big, some of these distributors and everything, the organic distributor, they're like, Marcus, you'll never get on that board. It's sad you'll never get on that board because they want people from General Mills on that board. Because General Mills is going to figure out how they can mass produce organics and cut the rules and make it favor them versus you, who's a legitimate person involved in agriculture, chef, and things like that are concerned about what you're eating. These people are concerned about their profits. And that's who gets on these boards, is the companies that are concerned about their profits. And we know that's true all the way across for everything, for every industry. But I experienced firsthand. They're like, Marcus, you won't get past the nomination stage for the organic board. That's something like that. It's just you're not involved in the right companies. You don't have enough impact for that to make a financial impact in these companies. So they bend the rules to make it possible. That's how that works. So people are often shocked when I say, well, I used to bleach my food. You're already getting food that's bleached, chlorinated, all that kind of stuff. You're already consuming it. You have been consuming it. You're getting food that's irradiated, that's totally dead. Like if you look at our spices that we get, all of our spices are unirradiated. You open up the crushed red pepper flakes. They're not bright red like most red pepper flakes. You go to a store or you go to a pizzeria and you see the red pepper flakes. Those are so treated with either sulfites, things that make them look good. They're irradiated. They're dead food. It's totally dead food. They're sanitized. So it doesn't look like our red peppers. So our red peppers don't have that kind of stuff on red pepper flakes. So it's a totally different color. It's like sun-dried tomatoes. Actually, it's like apricots. You buy dried apricots that are brown. You buy dried apricots that are glowing orange, right, or gold. The difference is the chemicals that go into them. It's a difference, how they're treated, the sulfites. So a lot of people have reactions from sulfites in wine. You're definitely gonna have reactions from sulfites in dried apricots or other dried fruits. It's just an ingredient in there. One of the great things about buying some of these Italian products that we buy, these imported products, we love local, right? We love local. We buy a lot of local products. But when you buy something like this, you look at the back and it's pure ingredients. When you buy whatever, like you can buy mixes or cake mixes or whatever you're looking at. You look at cookies from Italy, like if you're in Italy and you're looking through, there's no funky chemicals. They don't allow that stuff. The food is much purer. Just the way they maintain it, the way they store it, the integrity of it. Even if you walk into one of the massive co-op grocery stores, there's a chain out there called Co-op. If you walk into this massive store, it's like the IKEA of grocery stores, right? You walk into this massive store, and you look through the aisles, and there's lots and lots of local things in this massive IKEA-like-ish grocery store. There's things from this local producer, that local producer from this region, things that are truly made with much more integrity. And you look at the packages of cookies and cakes and prepared foods and things like that. Nothing like here in the U.S. It's totally different. So when we buy this stuff from Italy, you just always look at it. It's like, wow, this stuff is just, it's so much different than reading an American-produced food product. So much different. All right, that is it. It's 8:15. I've been on a while. Hope everybody's having a great day. Again, of course, if you were watching live, drop a comment, #live. If you're on the replay, #replay. And I always love to see where people are tuning in from. That's always great as well. And the title of this video was, do you know what sucks? What sucks is going to the grocery store right now during a pandemic, during the holiday season, because the stores are mobbed, totally mobbed. So if you need any groceries, we got you covered. Any special orders, just call us, 647-3000, or email us. You don't have to wait till 5 o'clock to call us. It's one of the misconceptions. We're here right now. Jamie will pick up the phone right now if you call. We don't like people calling at 8 o'clock in the morning. We say call after 10. But if you had to get a hold of us, the phone rings to her cell phone. The phones are transferred to her cell phone. It's all done through an app. It's really great. We don't miss phone calls. But you can call anytime during the day and we can take your order. We can do that. If you call at 5 o'clock when we're packed and busy and are asking 10 questions, it's a little harder for us to devote the time to you when there's guests at the door, when there's orders coming out of the kitchen, and we're worried about all these other things. It's a little hard for us to devote time to answer a bunch of questions. But you can call at 3 o'clock and ask all the questions you want. We can take the time and the care to go through that and special orders and things like that. So that's much easier. So you can call any time of the day. To open a restaurant takes lots of hours preparing beforehand to do that. And some companies, some delivery companies are like, well, you're not open till 5, so I can't send the driver till 5. I'm like, no, send the driver at 8 a.m. so we can get the food and start cooking it so we can have it prepped and ready to open at 5. So that's the story. We're here all day. Most restaurants are like that. There's somebody in the building at the restaurants. All right, folks, that's it. Everybody have an amazing day, and talk to you later.